Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Lesson 110. Multiplying decimal numbers and using zeros as placeholders. So, when we multiply decimal numbers, we follow the rule. Write this down. Rule. You're going to say, Miss Sparks, we already wrote this down. I know you wrote this down. I wrote it down with you. Okay, we're writing it down again. Multiply, then count. Okay, what is this the rule for? This is the rule for multiplying decimals. Multiplying decimals. Okay, rule. Multiplying decimals rule. Multiply, then count. Okay. Starting from the right hand of the product, which is the answer to a multiplication problem, then we count the same number of places the mark that has the decimal points. So multiply, okay, this is what our example is. Well, there's an example here, but this is what we're using. Sometimes there is more decimal places in the factors, okay, these are factors, okay, these are factors. I know most of you know that, but there's a couple, and you probably know who probably don't know that. They don't even know what product means. So product is the answer to a multiplication problem, and the factors are the problems that are in it, okay? You need to memorize that. So you can see here, before even starting your problem, that there are two decimal places we're going to need over. Then you notice our problem, since these zeros don't multiply, is 9. The answer, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, and then you're like, wait, I've got to move it over 0 times. You know that when a whole number has an imaginary 0 here, or imaginary decimal here, and a 0, okay? But since we have to move it over 2 times, you can put the decimal place in, and you have to move it over 2 times. So that means your answer is 0.9 or 9/100ths, okay? So if we had a square here that was divided into 10, and then we had to divide it into 10 again, those would be very small. And you would have to count and fill in 9 of these little ones. So not even 1/10, okay? Because this is 3/10 of 3/10 is 9/100ths. All right. Example 1. So it can be written as this, and 0, or that 9/100ths equals 9/100ths. Because it's 3/10 times 3/10. You multiply straight across. 3 times 3 is 9, and 10 times 10 is 100, okay? So it's saying 3/10 of 3/10. All right, moving on. So we set up the problem as though it were a whole number problem, okay? We set it up just like this. We follow the rule multiply, then count. Okay, so 12 times 3 is 36. Multiply, so that takes care of the multiply part. Now count. 1, 2, 3. This is, you're counting how many spaces are to the right of the decimal point. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And we notice that this is just a 2-digit number, so I said that when you have a whole number that the decimal point is at the very end of that number, and now you've got to move it over 3 spaces, so you're going to have to add a 0. 1, 2, 3. Here's your decimal point, there's your 0. So it's 36 over 1,000, 36 thousandths. All right, because this is, another way you could do it is 12/100ths times 3/10 equals 36 over 1,000. Okay? Don't forget this rule. All right? In this empty space, I want you to draw me a picture of this, okay, using these types of squares. All right, now, lesson practice. Multiply. You're multiplying these, okay? Can you see this? I'm going to move it up so you can see it better. Maybe I'll zoom it in too. If this doesn't help you see better, then I'm sorry, but I am just trying to help. But I've got to move it up a little bit. Here we go. All right, ready? Can you see all those? Yeah, that is the last number there. Okay, not quite. Oh, well, I was trying to help, but it didn't really help. I'm sorry about that. All right, multiply 25 hundredths by 3 tenths. B, 12 hundredths by 12 hundredths. Multiply C, 125 thousandths times 3 tenths. D, 5 hundredths times 3 hundredths. E, 3 hundredths times 3 tenths. F, 3 and 2 tenths times 3 hundredths. G, 6 tenths multiplied by 16 hundredths. H, 12 hundredths multiplied by 2 tenths. I, 1 hundredth multiplied by 1 tenth. J, 7 hundredths multiplied by 12 hundredths. And K, what is the area of this rectangle? The rectangle has a length of 4 tenths of a meter and a width of 2 tenths of a meter. All right, have a great day.